the system doesn't make sense. Ever since I read Questism, it's been apparent to me that the system doesn't make sense and it doesn't fit into the world of Lookism. And there are three main reasons why. The first main reason being the apparent fact that the system is, well, not a god. Yes, the system is not a god. And while I do see why people does believe that it's a god, like if you pay attention to the system's actions, it will be very apparent that it isn't a god. Starting off with, the system is very limited in what it can do. In this instance, it told Soo-young Kim that, well, the person who is in control of the system currently is a human who used to do quests, meaning that, well, the system isn't a god and is most likely a man-made construct. Which, yes, at first might seem very far-fetched, but once again, in the Lookism verse, you can make a body that you can just switch into somehow. And the reason why it is a man-made construct is because it's blatantly obvious it needs a human to run it. And even while a human is running it, it's still very limited in what it can do, obvious from Cho-young becoming an antagonist. Which the system admin himself says, yeah, he tried to control Cho-young through quests, but what he can do with the system is very limited. All he has really shown up to be able to do with the system is just give Soo-young extra time. And the second main reason why the system is not a god is because of the existence of the undetectable stats, or unmeasurable stats if you read it or webtoons. But to explain this, I'm going to have to explain another card called the Pikachu card. I don't actually have a screenshot of the card, I'm too lazy to go get it, so I just want to explain it. What the Pikachu card does is it gives you information on someone's stats, height, and weight, so that you can properly gauge the fight and determine if you should fight this person or run away. That is the complete purpose of the Pikachu card. But with the existence of the undetectable stat, that means you can get stronger than what the system itself can read. And yes, I said the system, because all the way back when Johan made his appearance in Questism, the system tried to scan his stats, and his stats said unmeasurable. Another reason why the system doesn't make sense is the mere existence of the cards themselves. Because if the system is a universal thing and it exists everywhere, then everyone has cards. But if you read any of the other series, it's very apparent that isn't the case. Because the only way you can get cards in the series if you're not a system user is by awakening, ascending, and then transcending, or entering the path to mastery. Those are the only ways you can get cards. So now begs the question, how can you lose a card? But what am I talking about? No character in Questism has lost a card in series. Yes, that is true. No character in Questism, but in the PTG universe, there is a character that has lost a card before. Well, lost a card if you're using the system's logic. And that character is Zack Lee. You see, Zack used to have the self-hatred card, and the reason we know that this is a card is because another Questism character has it, that being Han. I don't know how to pronounce the name. But after training with Gongsup and getting over his inferiority complex, Zack loses access to the self-hatred card. He doesn't have heat mode anymore. On top of that, Zack's self-hatred card also defies the logic of the series, which is that cards are meant to make you stronger or nerf their enemy. They are not meant to nerf you. But, in the terms of Zack, confirmed by Gongsup, self-hatred makes Zack weaker. So once again, the system is shown to be very inconsistent on what's happening in the rest of the series. Oh yeah, and there is no other way to lose a card in Questism. Just keep that in mind, because even when Hajun descend, which was done by the use of a card that only system users has access to, he never lost any of his overlord cards. Even if you descend in the series, you would not lose any of your cards, meaning that you could lose your cards in the rest of the verse? That doesn't make sense. And the third and final reason why the system doesn't make sense is the existence of the cards. And the third and final reason why the system doesn't make sense is because of the existence of the cards. The reason why this doesn't make sense is because there is no instance in the story of someone being unable to move because some supernatural force is holding them down. There is no instance of a character in Lookism gaining access to a martial art they have never practiced before. On top of that, the system is shown that it doesn't know what it's talking about, because when Gupta got access to UI, the UI card description actually describes that when you're in the state of UI, you do not feel pain. Yet, Daniel and Gun has shown that they can feel pain within UI. On top of that, the system is very contradictory as well, as if you remember the fight with Suk Kang and Tae-hoon Chung, Suk Kang actually gained access to the Invincible Wrestler card, but he's passed out after fighting Tae-hoon Chung. Why is this if the Invincible Wrestler card makes him take no damage? And it's not like if Tae-hoon was like drastically stronger than Suk Kang, he was like one or a couple levels higher than him. It was nothing like how Soo-young Kim is undetectable. He was just slightly stronger than him, and he still passed out after his fight, meaning that he took damage throughout the fight. But like I keep saying, the system itself doesn't make sense, but somebody's gonna argue about it anyway.